Hey, welcome back to the Den. Happy August. Coming to you today from Life's Better at the Lake. Want to talk to you today about one of the biggest misconceptions I see in leadership, and that's the idea that if you're capable enough, hardworking enough, experienced enough, or caring enough, things should naturally move forward. And when they don't, good leaders often turn inward. They question themselves, they overthink, they overwork, they replay conversations in their heads, wondering things like, what did I miss? Why didn't this land? Why does this feel harder than it should? Here's something I want more leaders to understand. Good leaders still get stuck, not because they lack capability, but because capability alone is not the same thing as influence. And I think this is especially true for leaders who genuinely care, which I hope is most of us. Leaders who lead with integrity, leaders who spent years believing that good intention, strong work ethic, and competence would naturally create traction. Here's what I know about complex organizations, though. They don't always work that way. There are competing priorities, uncertainty, shifting agendas, power dynamics, relational histories, timing issues, and sometimes entire systems operating inside what one leader recently described to me as analysis paralysis. When leaders don't understand these dynamics, they often become frustrated or discouraged. They can kind of check out. I recently spoke with a leader who shared that early in her career she wanted nothing to do with politics. Staying away from it, I shouldn't have to do it. And honestly, I think many leaders feel that way. I know I did for a period of time. And that's because leaders associate politics with manipulation, ego, or self-promotion. Those things can be true. But what I do know is organizational politics aren't going away because we dislike them. The real work is learning how to navigate complexity without losing ourselves in the process. If we avoid these dynamics entirely, eventually one of these two things happens. We either disengage or we get rolled over by the system around us, and neither serves the work we're trying to do. What changes things is learning how to combine integrity with strategic awareness. So, understanding how to read the room, how to prepare intentionally, how to adapt our communication in real time, and in preparation, how to build alignment, how to recognize different forms of power, and how to influence outcomes in ways that still feel authentic to who we are. One of the things I love hearing from leaders after doing the work I've been doing around politics and organizations is I feel different in how I lead now. They're not just smarter, not just more informed, they're different. They're more grounded, more intentional, more prepared, more confident in navigating uncertainty. And I think that matters because leadership today requires more than competence. It really requires self-awareness, awareness of things around us. It requires relational intelligence. It requires understanding how organizations actually function. And yes, sometimes it requires skinning our knees a little along the way. Man, do I know that. But over time, I've learned that being stuck does not mean you're failing. Sometimes being stuck is actually an invitation to lead differently. And that's a big part of the work we do inside Getting Good Things Done. Helping leaders navigate influence, relationships, complexity, and organizational dynamics in a way that feels aligned, strategic, and deeply human. So today, I'll leave you with this reflection. Where in your leadership might you be interpreting stuck as failure or something else, when it really means it's an invitation to expand how you lead? Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next month.